Hey everyone, welcome to Judge Jodi, Paxton Road TV's Premier League Player Ratings show. We're top of the league. We're top of the league. I don't know how many times I'm going to get to say that this season, but I just wanted to get that out right now. Happy Bank Holiday Monday for everybody who's watching in the UK. For everybody who's not watching, who weren't having a bank holiday, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. I spent the day at Thorpe Park today, which was probably the wrong thing to be doing because it felt like the whole of the UK was there. But I mean, you know what? It was fun, and I had a lot of fun on a lot of rides there. So anyway, I'm really excited to introduce my very special guest this evening. I'm sure most of you know him already. We have Mr. K, everybody. Mr. K, welcome to the courtroom.
Thank you, Yana. My pleasure to be here. My pleasure, honestly. I don't see any bailiffs anywhere, so pretty much I think I can outrun you. Oh, no, I can't. I just realized. Hit problem.
I'm so honored to have you this evening. I know a lot of people know you, and a lot of people are very happy to see you here. I think so. Yeah, very, very delighted to have you here. I do need to apologise for everybody who's been patiently waiting for the show. So hopefully we do have some people still here. Thank you for that. But yeah, I think. Mr. K, how are you today? How are you feeling after the game yesterday? Oh, did you know that we're top of the league?
I do indeed. I think there's a WhatsApp image of the league table, which I've been sending around to everyone that I know. First and last, I call it. First and last. Emphasis on the first and emphasis on the last. I think what it is that it's all very well to be on top of something, but then at the same time, if it's the reverse is true for your arch rivals, then it's even more sweeter.
I mean, I don't think it's going to last long. I hope it does, but I mean, you got to take it while you can get it, right?
Exactly. I think that's what it is. Everyone's out there saying be a bit cautious, so things might go down. I thought, look, enjoy what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're enjoying it, share. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. I mean, I think we played really well yesterday against a Watford side that was, really compact, that was so heavy on defence. It was just so hard for our guys to break them down. But yeah, I mean, again, I think there were some really impressive moments from the guys in the back line as well. Overall, I'm really happy to pick up those 3 points. I mean, keep it going.
I don't think it matters too much. I think right now, the most important thing for us is like, how solid do we feel? It's not about the number of goals we don't score or have scored.
Yeah.
It's when we don't have the ball, are we scared? Are we falling apart? Does it look like we have a plan? Does it look like the players are backing each other up? So if one player decides to break out formation to rush forward at something, is someone going to fill his position? Is someone going to break their formation to fill in that position? How does a team all act together as a cohesive unit? Yeah. We defend as one. We should attack as one. So that's what I'm enjoying the most. Is I don't feel scared anymore. If we lose a goal in the last 10 minutes, fair enough. It could happen. But I think the team has turned that corner for me, where they're not capitulating like they used to.
Yeah.
They've had ample opportunity, They made mistakes. I think there was a couple of key areas yesterday when we were doing diagonal long passes from defense. And it was going onto the wing. And if it ever got cut out, it felt like we lost a winger because he's too far forward. But it got intercepted, and it's now two players running forward with one minus already. So that means there's an overload in the midfield straight away. And that's going to lead on to an attack. So I did feel that there was a slight weakness in the formation, or rather the way we spread the ball from the back. We could improve that, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree. And we've got 24 hours to potentially help that happen. We'll see what happens, I guess, in the next 24 hours to see what happens on transfer deadline day. We will get into the ratings, but I just wanted to do, before we get into that, last week I asked Sam if he had a pre-game superstition or a routine or anything that he had to follow before every single match. His was combing his beard. Now, do you have something that you do? Is it maybe a special top that you wear or a breakfast that you have before the game, anything like that?
I tell you the truth, I have a high degree of anxiety when I watch Spurs live, in any way, form, or fashion.
I think we're all
I have to
guilty of
hide for the first few minutes. I have to literally hide for the first few minutes. I have to literally, if I'm watching a stream, then I'll turn it off for a few minutes, walk around a bit, have a cigarette, calm down a bit, and then I'll come back to it. So that's basically it. It's just breaking in my nerves. Once
Yeah.
I've broken in my nerves, I can watch the team. But if it happens again in the second half, then I'll take another 5 minutes. It's just one of those things. I don't know. Maybe combing the beard might be more soothing.
Yeah.
I think I might look into that one.
Mm. No, I think that sounds pretty good to me. I mean, I'm not going to reveal mine. I think once Paxton Road hits maybe 10,000 subscriptions or something like that, I'll reveal what mine is. um, Guys, before we get into it, please hit that like button and subscribe to Paxton Road. Mr. K, are you ready to head into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor. I've come all this way, so let's have a look now. Oh, Hugo Lloris.
Hugo Lloris,
Hugo
it's our
Lloris.
goalie. We love him.
Yes,
We love him, don't we?
absolutely. Our captain.
Yeah,
He was
yeah, he's our
captain, wasn't
captain.
he? He was captain. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's always
Let's have a look.
captain.
I've given him an 8. You're giving him a 6.5.
I know.
Where's the love? Where's the love? Okay, I
I
mean, you do know that he kept a clean sheet, right?
He did. I mean, for
And
me, I just
I
didn't
mean,
think he
that's
had that
worth at
much
least
to
1 point, right?
do.
No, but that's the hallmarks of a great goalkeeper, making it look like he's not doing much.
Yeah, but if we're giving
I
our
mean, that's
goalies,
controlling your defense in front of you. I mean, don't forget, it stems from him. So that, I mean,
yeah,
I've given him an 8 because he's done absolutely the right thing. He's kept a clean sheet. He
hmm
smiles. He's
he
the
does
captain.
smile. He's
So
dazzling.
I've given him an extra point or two just for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the couple of saves that he did make were good. There was a really nice save early on in the match, I think, which was super easy for him. Again, like I said, I don't think he had a whole lot to do, but like you said, he kept a clean sheet. So what more can we ask for him? Yeah, he saved the day for us so many times, last season and this season. And he's really, for me, doing what a goalie should be doing.
Yeah. I mean, he's
So,
our version of De Gea. What
yeah.
De Gea does for Man United, Lloris does for us. The number of times De Gea's pulled Man United out of the fire, the same
hmm
thing Lloris has done as well for us. Honest to God, it's
Yeah.
like I think when you look at the last, I don't know, since Poch years, even before Poch, I think roughly then you look at the run that he's had, the consistency that he's done.
Yeah.
He's not absolutely like a goalkeeper that can do absolutely every bit of goalkeeping that can
Yeah.
exist in the modern world.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
he tends to stick to his goalkeeping area a little bit more than other goalkeepers do. Um, so the tendency to rush out, for example, is not 100% with him. But on the whole of it, as a goal stopper, you can't. It's second to none. This guy's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. My confidence has increased significantly in him, over the last, end of last season, going into this season. He's definitely improved. I think distribution wise as well, he's really improved. So, yeah, I mean, maybe I'm being a bit harsh again, but I am a judge. So,
I think at the end of the day, all of these scores, they're going to come down to individual preference.
yeah.
So some people. I'll give you an example. If you look at the footballing world, for example, it's the forwards, the strikers, the ones that score the goals. They make the most amount of money. But where
Mm,
would they be without the defense?
yeah.
We found that out.
Yeah.
So for me, right, yeah, for someone like Lloris, right, yeah, when he's called into action to do the type of saves that he's done, right, and keep a clean sheet, third game, international break coming up. This is
hmm
very, very important. If we kept that third clean sheet, it represents something. And I
Yeah.
think for him to see it through, fantastic. An
Yeah.
8 from me.
Well done to Larice. I think I need to up my scores next week, but shall we move on? Jaffa Tanganga. I mean, yeah, again, you're heavy on the positives here, aren't you, Mr. K? I know you always are, which is a good trait to have. I think he had another solid game.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with him. I think there was a lot more for Reggie to do in that match yesterday.
Hmm.
I think Tanganga had a lot more defensive work to do this week, and I think he handled it like really well. And overall, for me, it was a solid performance. I think he gets a
I think it's quite
seven. Yeah,
mature.
sorry.
Sorry, you were saying.
No, I was just going to say he gets a seven because we kept the clean sheet, and he did for me what I would have expected him to do. So
I think it was look, this time round there was a lot more at stake in terms of the overall defense, not conceding.
yeah,
Um, we weren't scoring as many goals recently as you can probably have seen from a set piece, from a corner, from a free kick, and so forth. But or a penalty. But for this young man to perform the way that he has, especially in this game, I thought it showed a high degree of maturity.
mm-hmm.
In previous games, he's been known to be running all the way to the front. Right? You see him, bang, he's in the front. In this particular game, he matured. He stayed back a touch. He went forward and held the ball and brought it back again, which means he became an active member in the team in terms of the passing circles.
Yeah,
That's a lot of respect being shown throughout the rest of the team.
yeah,
He's no longer performing as an individual. And because of that, I saw he changed his style of touch, and that showed maturity. I think without doubt, he's one of the most promising players we have this season. The only reason why I didn't give him man of the match is because he didn't score a goal. Otherwise, I
yeah.
would
He
have given
nearly
him
did
that.
though, didn't he? I think he did.
Nearly, but not quite.
There was, yeah, exactly. I like
We'll
I
get
said,
on
I've
to him.
said, yeah. Well, like I've said in the past, I really like him. I've always liked Tanganga, and I think there is proper talent there. I think we just need to see
I think
more of
there's
him.
I think there's also an energy as well. There's an energy, there's a persistence, there's an aggression. And when you're part of
Yeah,
a team and you've got one person in your team that's like this, it gives a lift to everyone else.
yeah,
And he's the youngster, don't forget.
yeah,
So
yeah,
from that perspective, I think when one player ups their game, it helps other players. When they up their game, it helps everyone else. And I think
100%.
that's basically what's going on in the team right now.
Yeah, and it's good to see, isn't it? Because that wasn't there end of last season. So the teamwork and everything that Nuno's been helping to push the team forward. I'm loving what I'm seeing. So let's hope it continues. Really. I think we need to move on. We're going to go on to Davidson Sanchez. Hi, we agree. Uh,
Um, I think go on, carry on.
no, I was just going to say another really impressive performance from Sanchez. Really happy with how he performed. I think he made a couple of really important blocks. I think there was one early in the second half against Sa that I think was particularly good, and his crossfield passes were exceptional. I think yesterday he did so well. I'm so happy with what I'm seeing with him at the moment.
He was tenacious. I mean, he wasn't just satisfied defending. He wanted to go up front and score a goal as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
And when he didn't score a goal, he was the first person to run back
yeah,
and have the longest to run as well. And he made it, and he did it very quickly as well. So
yeah,
I think to a certain degree, this is what you wanted from Sanchez. You wanted Sanchez to wake up in
yeah,
terms of what he's doing on the football pitch. And this is a Sanchez that's definitely
yeah.
woken up.
Yeah, 100%. I was
Everyone can
gonna,
see it.
yeah, I was
Everyone can
gonna
see
say
it.
he seems to be concentrating so much more as well. Um,
Making decisions.
yeah,
He's making
yeah,
decisions and taking responsibility. And I think to a certain degree, when he used to hesitate before, I think that was a lack of confidence in himself.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
And do you think? I think I've said it before, but because of Romero coming in and everything, do you think he's just trying to show Nuno and the team that he has a place in the squad, and
um,
or is it
well,
more
the thing is, we
just
had this phenomenon last year, didn't we? When Doherty came along,
yeah, yeah,
right? We brought Doherty in, we brought Reguilon, and all of a sudden, Aurier suddenly finds out he's a right winger. Sorry, he's a right back.
right back, yeah,
He suddenly starts performing.
yeah,
But this
yeah,
is slightly different. This is a Sanchez that really we've been wanting to see him mature since he arrived at the club.
mm,
We know he has the technical capabilities. We know he has a supreme athletic capabilities. What we wanted to know was whether or not he had the football intelligence to go with it.
hmm,
Know when to go forward, when to go back, when to hang, when to intercept, when
yeah,
to commit, and when to get dirty.
yeah,
All of these the hallmarks of a great defender. So I think right now, I think the reason why I've given him 8 is because he demonstrated all of that in this particular match. that tenacity, not just is a collective team to be defending, it's a collective team to be attacking and as well. And he was part of that attack. So I
Yeah.
really, an 8 for me. Smashing
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. Let's move on. Let's move on, shall we? Eric Dyer. Okay, we don't differ too far here. I think another amazing performance by Dyer. I mean, I can't complain by these guys. I'm I'm really actually enjoying the way that Dyer's playing at the moment. Um, yeah, I mean, his leadership for me is he's showing that. Again, it was really on display, I think, in this match. He seems really calm out there at the moment. Such a different Dyer to what I think we were used to seeing at the end of last season. I think his aerial skills also on point again in this match. Um, and yeah, he's just really dealing with everything that's being thrown at him. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing at the moment. I don't know how you feel.
Um, I think in this particular game, you might want to remove that comment. I don't think anyone can see my 7.
Oh right,
No.
sorry.
Oh, they did.
I
For me
don't.
personally, I've only given him a solid 7 because he did what he was supposed to do. And in the past, we've often been upset with Dyer because he hasn't done what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But in this particular game, he did exactly what he's supposed to do. And it's not just one leader on the pitch. All the players have to start taking accountability and responsibility for themselves and all start acting like leaders. So, and Dyer has obviously been one of those guys that's been, alone in trying to do that quite often last year.
Hmm.
And now I see other players taking up the mantle, taking the scruff up the neck, and really pushing forward. And that's a collective effort.
Yeah.
I've only given him a 7. If he scored a goal, then bang, I would have given him an 8. But
Hmm.
overall, I think that's a solid performance for Dyer. And, clean sheet, what more could you ask for?
Yeah. Agree. Agree. Um. Yeah, I agree. Shall we move on to Sergio Reguilon? Oh, Reggie, I think I need to apologise both to Sergio and Sean Hurl for not mentioning the amazing job that he did setting up the penalty for Delhi last week. That had factored into my rating, but I didn't mention that. So apologies for that. I think, yeah, in this game, I think he was having a difficult time, getting up against Saar. He had such a difficult time with him anyway. Saar was really on fire yesterday. So I think, big up to Reggie for what he did. I think he had some good tackles. I think he was able to get forward slightly better in this match, but still struggling a little bit in that area, I think. Um, but yeah, I think he was dominant. I think he was showing a lot of stamina. I think, there is some work to do in his defensive abilities, I think. But yeah, I think for him, it was just a bit of a tough ride being up against Saar and, the dominant force that he had there. But
Well, at the end of the day, no one scored a goal against us.
yeah.
So collectively, he did his part. He was having the more tougher of the situations. But I saw him do one interception with his head. There was a crossfield
Yeah.
pass that was going over to the right wing, and he jumped up in the air and actually intercepted it with his head. And I thought to myself, probably the first time I've seen him use his head with the ball. But for that alone was enough for me to give him a solid 7
Yeah.
because it's his defensive work. Even if you're not perfect, at least you're part of a collective team, and you're going to keep doing it and keep doing it until
Mhm.
until you get more confidence. And there is a certain sense that I have with Sergio that he takes ownership of certain problems. Right,
Yep.
he doesn't become defeated within himself. And for me, right, yeah, that tenacious behavior of constantly keep going all the time is what Hoiberg has as well. So
Mhm.
I see a
Yeah.
resonance between those two.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, the young man, in order for him to improve going forward, he has to improve going backwards as well.
Yeah. I think
So
so.
the
Yeah.
7 is because he persisted in going backwards to defend.
Yeah.
And for that, hats off from me to him. Solid game. Thank you very much, Sergio.
And you mentioned Højbjerg. I think we're moving on to him now. Oh, okay. We agree again. Yeah, I think he held it together for us in the middle there. I think when you look at his stats there, I think he had 110 touches, which I think is so impressive, for that game. His passing was on point. I think he just had such a tough job to do, kind of in the middle there. he's so consistent for us, and you can always depend on him being there. I think his leadership, again, talking about leadership, it's always there. I think with him and Skip in the middle, we've got a good thing going on with those guys. I think they make a really good team together. I just think that we're lacking a little bit of creativity potentially in the middle there. But there's not. Yeah, I don't know. What do you
Yeah, I
think?
mean, it ain't just Skip and Højbjerg in the middle. You got Dele Alli there too.
Yeah.
So that is a defensive unit, which is now, I think, 2 games in or 3 games. I think they played together in the same formation. 2 games, I believe.
Yeah, two, I think.
So I think they've started to get familiarized with themselves. The creativity really can come from someone on the left-hand side, whether it's a Dele Alli or even Lo Celso can play left as well, of Højbjerg, because he's left-footed. So the way I look at it is that there is, maybe we do need one person to really come in, like Dombele or something like that, But right now we got Dele Alli, and as far as I'm concerned, Højbjerg really commanded the midfield, but he put in a solid performance. If he scored a goal, I would have given him an 8. I think he was very, very solid. Didn't put a foot wrong. He had an opportunity, almost put it away. Not quite.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I think, he had a tough slog, I think, yesterday, but I think, 7's for me. I think we're moving on to Oliver Skip now. Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's a difficult match for him. I think he was doing a really good job up against Sissoko, which I think he was playing quite well for what I could see. There are a couple of
I think
fouls.
it's very difficult. It's very difficult to try to get the best out of Sissoko. Sissoko is such a big fella and very, very strong.
Definitely.
And, he could literally, I think what Skip had over him was the fact he was faster.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I think him and Højbjerg are, doing a really good job in the middle there. I think he also worked really well with Dele Alli. Yeah, I kind of like what's going on in the midfield area there. I just, wish that we had a little bit more kind of creativity and opportunities there. But I guess we'll see if we get any more signings coming in to help with that regard. We'll see what happens.
Well, I think Oliver and Højbjerg, they've consistently been playing, in and around each other.
Yeah.
For quite some time, even when they're in training and so forth. But it is right now, with the way Nuno set things up, it's a three-man midfield.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time I saw Oliver Skip running around the right-hand side, it looked a bit unusual. But now I've got used to it a little bit.
You got used
but
to
he
it,
doesn't just stay there. He can switch over to the left, but it's kind of like, initially I was like scratching my head thinking, what I thought maybe the middle would be better for Skip, and maybe touch to the left as well, a 2-man team. But if it's 3-man, then stick him on the right. But midfield wise, they are a unit, and that's the reason why I give both of them a 7, because I thought our midfield, it had a hard time trying to deal with certain characters, but it held its own. It alleviated a lot of pressure from our defense.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And you can't ask for much more. Kept another clean sheet. Everybody had a part to play in that. So yeah, I think that's warranted from my regard. Moving on to our Mr. Dele Alli.
I don't know how you can give him a 6. I mean, I thought the boy worked his socks off.
Yeah, no, he did. I think I gave him man of the match last week. I don't think it was the best game for him yesterday, but I think he played well. I mean, I think he was the one in the middle that was getting involved around the box. I think,
Well, if he did, why you give him a 6 then?
Well, he could have got more involved, I think. I am a judge.
He was more involved than the other two. He was more involved than the other two, but he could have got more involved. Like, I don't understand, more involved. Like, you're very demanding.
I think for me, I think he could have had more of a chance at goal, potentially.
Yeah, I agree with you. He muffed up a few chances at goal.
Yeah. So
honestly, he's like, I don't understand. He needs something to click with him. some little bit of confidence within himself, and watch, this kid will start to score goals
I
like
think
we're
so.
running out of fashion.
I agree. I mean, I think I'm so impressed with, his fitness at the moment. I think I'm really happy with how far he's come. I think under Nuno, it must be a testament to
I'm
Nuno.
glad we didn't get rid of him.
I'm
I'm
glad
glad
we
we
did
didn't
it.
send him to
I love
PSG.
Deli
Honestly,
Ali. Yeah, no, I'm there for it. I just hope we can get some more out of him, and I hope Nuno and the team continue to believe in him, and we can actually see him fire some more, and we get some of that, maybe a little bit of the old Deli, maybe something new coming through. Like I'm there for it, really.
I mean, there's a couple of mistakes he made in that game, which I can understand would knock a 7 down to a 6. Um, but he wasn't afraid to keep making those mistakes. Um, I mean, he's trying to pass the ball, but he just wasn't putting like some
Yeah,
effort into it, and the ball wasn't getting anywhere. And I think there was 2 distinct ones that came up. I almost hid behind the sofa, thinking, "Oh, what's going to happen next?" But it wasn't meant to be intentional. It wasn't like he was trying to
yeah,
do
he
something,
was
and it didn't
trying,
pay off. And
and
that
that's
was
what
the
you
main
have
thing,
to.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
As long as he's trying, and he did chase back as well on the one that he lost first time round.
yeah,
So I give him that. He doesn't give up on them, and that's what you want from a midfielder. You want them to, if they make a mistake, run after it. Don't just stand there and hold your hands up,
yeah.
like some people have done in the past.
No, I agree.
But
Sorry, Sid. Sid's saying 6. Mm.
Sid, I think Sid's with me on that one. What is
Yeah.
a 6? I don't understand. Does better than the other two, and he gets a 6 for his efforts. Oh dear, oh dear. Hard court here.
Hardcore judge, I know. We'll see. We'll see what happens next week, Sid. Oh, let's move on. We got our Mr. Sonny. Um, man of the match. Man of the match. I gave him man of the match. You gave him man of the match. I mean, he looked a lot more lively yesterday, which was good to see. He was always available. I think yesterday. I think he had a really good match. Do you not
I think
agree? You don't think he was
I
available?
think I think he had, basically what it was is that, okay, when he's normally playing,
Hmm.
the opportunities that come to him, they're his opportunities.
Yeah,
People have passed the ball, there's a movement, he's run behind the lines, so forth. Yeah.
yeah,
What he had to do in this game was slightly different, which was basically, you're the main goal threat. Even though
yes,
Kane's just come in, right now, Kane just coming in is finding his gears, whereas this guy is already firing at the top. So
yeah,
he's expectation. Now that means that basically he's been given orders, right? When you got an opportunity, take the ball, put it in the back
yeah,
of the net,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So he'll take chances, he'll take on shots. And the maturity part comes in when you know that you could have passed the ball, but you took the shot.
yeah,
And he took the shot,
yeah.
right? So that's very hard to do. For if you're a selfish player, then fine, you'll do it all day long. But if
Mm,
you're like someone like Sonny, for example, who's
he's
playing
yeah,
absolutely everything for the team,
yeah,
right? He's running around his guts out for the team,
yeah.
for the fans out there, for his culture and so forth. And that's the reason why I give him a 9, because when we need him to do something,
He
he
does it.
steps up and does it.
Yeah,
We needed a goal. We won by 1 goal, and it was scored by him.
yeah,
So as
yeah.
far as I'm concerned,
Agree.
9 out of 10, and also man of the match.
Putting me to shame there, Mr. K. No, I agree. I
Well,
think.
get that comment out of the way. Since comment, I can have a look at what you put written down there.
Oh,
Did you write an 8 or
so
something?
tell him. Oh, here we go.
You wrote an 8. Okay.
Yeah, I think. Um, obviously scoring that lovely free kick at the end, right on time, as you say, when we needed it. That was, for me, I gave him the 8 because he got the goal. I think, yeah, I don't know. I think you need to do something even more dramatic to get a 9 from me. But it is a harsh courtroom that we're in here, so.
No, I think you may be right. I think I'm being slightly optimistic because, look, the main thing for me in this game was, can our team hold it firm and not concede a goal for the 3rd game in a row?
Yeah.
Because I know we're trying to win something and we're trying to get 3 points and so forth, right? Yeah. But at the
Hmm.
same time, it's the manner in which you do it,
Yeah.
right? And this is what I'm enjoying right now, is the manner in which Spurs is getting the points.
Agree.
It's
Yeah.
really, really
It's
satisfying
the
to see.
teamwork, isn't it? And it's something that was lacking, for a very long time, and I'm just enjoying seeing the team actually enjoying playing football again, and just the team spirit and everything just seems to be back, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm really
I
happy.
think the team spirit has come back because individual people have looked at themselves individually.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
They've shone the mirror at themselves to say, hold on a second, before I start other people, what about myself? And that individual effort of training harder, because Nuno's now raised the fitness level. If
mm,
you want to play, you have to go through this regime, and as you go through the regime, your fitness level will be a certain point, and you'll be absolutely on key. Um,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I think Sissoko, when I saw him in the training video before he left, he was the only one out of our team that had a bit of a belly. I knew then he's
He's
not
out.
playing for us. He's, but I'm
Yeah,
happy where he is right now. I'm happy that him and Rose are in the
yeah.
same team.
No, it was
We've
good.
sold a lot of players to Watford in the past, anyway.
Yeah. No, it was nice to see them there and get a good reception from the Spurs crowd as well. I think that was nice to see. But let's move on, shall we, Mr. Stevie B?
Ooh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I think it was a decent
This,
performance by Stevie B for me. Um,
I think it was excellent, short of a goal.
yeah, short of a goal. I agree.
Excellent, short of a goal. I'll give it that extra half. Normally, I'd just give. I think it was not just a solid performance. He was just missing a goal. So as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned, it's a 7.5.
I know.
More
He's
than
looking so
solid.
confident though, isn't he, this season?
Ooh, aggressive, brutal. I
Aggressive,
mean,
yeah.
this is what you
Yeah,
want. This is what you want our players to really to get onto the pitch and no longer capitulate like they used to. But fair
yeah,
enough, we might lose a game. Some people out there can score 30-goal wonder, 30-yard wonders like Lazzini did last season. Um,
yeah,
but what matters to me is the manner in which you perform out there on the pitch.
yeah.
Leave nothing behind.
Definitely, 100% agree. I think it's just obviously the end product. We all know it. We don't want to talk about it too much. He knows it. Everyone knows it. I think for him, it's just he needs to get a goal, or he needs, a bit more playing time to get the confidence up.
Well,
And
at least we know he can score.
yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
not like it wasn't like Soldado when he came up. Like
yeah,
it's like Stevie B came in and showed straight away what he could do.
yeah,
Right, and
yeah.
because of that, we know technically, we know physically, we know mentally, he's got the whole package.
Hmm.
It's just that feeling of togetherness
Yeah.
that last season he didn't look like he was part of the team,
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah,
but
he
this
didn't have
season he
enough
does.
playing time, I don't think. And I'm so happy that Nuno's has the confidence and he is giving him that time. So yeah, it's only a matter of time, I hope, for him. Moving on to Mr. Kane. What are we saying here? Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know if it was entirely the right decision to start him over Mora, just because of how Mora's been playing and the team have been playing. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Kane had a terrible game. I think he did what he could have done. Um, I don't think he looked as fired up as he did on, Thursday night when we played Pacos de Ferreira. I
Yeah.
think he just looked a little bit slower. He didn't look as sharp. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Seven?
um I think he had a solid game. I think he was under. I mean, let's face it. Every time the ball came to him, there's like 4 defenders around him,
Yeah, exactly. There
so
was
there
too
wasn't
much.
much he could do there. But in terms of sharpness, there was there was a lack of a click
Mm,
going on between him and the rest of the team.
yeah.
Um, and I noticed that more pronounced with Dele Alli.
Hmm.
Because don't forget, Dele Alli and this guy used to be at one stage or another. They used to be the original,
Yeah.
Kane and Son. The
Yeah.
original Kane and Son used to be Kane and
Good
Dele,
point. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that sixth sense of knowing where each other are and how you
Yeah.
want the ball,
Yeah.
is not quite there yet.
Yeah.
And I saw Kane like miss out an opportunity that Dele was trying to put him in for, and vice versa as well. Because don't forget, it's not just him; the other rest of the team is trying to adapt to him as well. I
Yeah.
think right now it was important to play him from the beginning because he needed the match experience, and
Mm,
Mora played from the beginning because he got match experience. And this is how Nuno's doing it. Nuno's
yeah.
choosing people so that they can get fired up for hopefully what's the next match,
Mm.
improvement.
Yeah, yeah, and that's fair. I'm not the coach, so you know, he knows what he's doing. So, but yeah, I think it was a solid performance from him. I think it would have been interesting to see maybe if Hill had come on, to see if maybe they could have had a bit more firepower like they had on Thursday. But I'm sure that's to come. I'm sure that's all to come. Our subs. So we got Mora came on for Bergie in the 67th minute. I think he came on and had an attempt at goal, didn't he? The keeper pushed it away. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was a solid performance. If the goal had gone through, maybe my score would have been a bit higher. But he did what I expected him to do.
A 7 for me, nice solid 7. Came in, started on the bench, but as soon as he came in, he put the whole game's worth of energy straight away into the pitch, and that's what you want from Mora, and he gave it. A goal. Well, the team scores together.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
So
agree. And then Hill. Now, I didn't rate him just because I didn't haven't. Yeah, I mean, he didn't concede. He didn't. Yeah, didn't see enough
I mean,
for me.
the thing is, he came on as a replacement for a forward, right? He
Yes,
wasn't
yeah,
he wasn't brought
yeah,
in as a midfielder. He was actually brought in as one of the front three.
yeah, yeah,
So from what I saw him doing the match, he ran a lot. He's tenacious. He's willing. He's eager. He's trying. And I think, did he miss I think 3 opportunities to score a goal, or was it 4? It was like he went for it a few times. So
yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, yeah, a solid 7. I wish he got a goal. I wish
yeah.
he got a goal.
I
I
really
can't
wanted
wait for
to
him to
get a
get
goal.
one. I want him to get a goal. Seriously.
Yeah,
If any boy
he
out there
just
deserves a goal,
he
he
does,
does.
doesn't he? I feel like the passion that he has every time he tries, and the look on his face when he doesn't, it makes me want to cry. I feel for him so bad because he wants it so badly. So I think when he does get that goal, it's just going to be insane, isn't it, for him? So. Bless. But that takes it. Yeah, that's out. That's it for our ratings today, Mr. K. We've got a bit of a break coming up because we've got international break, don't we? I think our next match is Crystal Palace away on the 11th of September. Um, do you have any early predictions at all for that at all, or was it a bit too soon?
Palace is. I think Palace is one of those teams that's going through a major transition right now.
Yeah.
Major transition. I think they've like 6 or 7 of their first team out of their squad finished their contracts last season and just walked. So they lost them. And you've got players like Saha. He's one of the few people that's left there that knows what he's doing. They got a good squad, but it's too new. It doesn't know itself properly. And are there question marks on Vieira? I'm not too sure. Is he a token coach? But he's proved it already. I don't know. For me, right? Yeah, I don't see Palace. I see Palace as being like they're not in the top 10 anymore for sure. They're nowhere near the middle. I'd say around about 14th, 16th team. That's the type they are now, right now. Unless they do something in the next day.
Yeah,
You know,
24
they're
hours.
going to have to do something like 5 or 6 purchases, and maybe they can transform the team and change their season. Right now,
I
the
mean,
bottom half of the
it
league.
could happen, right? You got time.
It could
I don't
happen,
think.
but so
Yeah.
I'd go in and turn around and say Spurs 4-1.
Okay. Well, that's good. I like that. Yeah, I also think that I'm always nervous when it comes to Spurs. I'm never, never confident. And I think I agree with you in the fact that Palace is having a bit of a shaky period at the moment. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe a 2-1 or something like that. I might keep it nice and clean. I
I
think they'll
mean,
get a goal in.
realistically, what you're really saying is, will the players go away for international break, come back, and have forgotten all their training and go back to the way they were before?
Yeah,
And then Nuno's
I
in
hope
for a
not.
massive
Please.
surprise. Benteke, who hasn't scored a goal he scored 1 goal in
Oh,
300 matches or something. He's
yeah,
going to end up scoring a goal. It's going to be one of
yeah.
them type of matches, right? No,
Don't
I
say
don't think so.
it.
I think they're going to come back in and they're going to be absolutely happy because they've already gone through that initial period of trying to learn Nuno's system.
Yeah.
Okay. So that fluidity, that clickingness is not quite there. When they come back out from the international break, they're going to start going back onto the training pitch. And that's when they're going to start to say, let me play with this a little bit more now. I've got a bit better grasp for it. And when
Yeah.
they start to do that, that's when they'll start to create magic. And
Yeah.
that's really what, like the coach keeps saying, I'm trying to help them. I'm not telling them what to do. I'm telling them, I'm trying to get the best out of them. So I'm trying to help them with whatever they are good at.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's all we can hope for, right? We need to stay top of the league for as long as we can.
I don't. I tell you what it is that the expectation of what we expected during the summer,
yeah,
to the start of the season, I think we've done exceptionally well compared to that.
I
In
think so.
terms of what type of team we are, to tell you the truth, we got one result a bit more fortunate, but we should be looking around about maybe 7 or 6 points.
We got
And
really
we'll be
lucky
happy.
with who we played and when, right? I think we were
Yeah,
very
Man City,
lucky.
that was an absolute gift.
Yeah.
But we're their bogey team. For some reason, every time they play us, it doesn't fall well for them. But what it did do is highlighted many, many strengths that Nuno started to instill within the team.
Yeah.
One of our own, Tanganga, showing what he's capable of doing on the right-hand side. Dyer and Sanchez proving themselves to be an absolute solid defenders, Premier League defenders. And putting them against the title holders. It wasn't the easiest decision to make, but it took guts and it took a bit of guile from Nuno to do it. And he had Pep's number. By the time Pep changed his by the time Pep realized the mistake that he was making with his midfield, it was already too late. The momentum already been gone past them.
Yeah, agree. And I think for the ratings, another pretty solid week. I kind of hope we don't see any low scores this season, but sadly, I'm sure they're coming. But yeah. Okay, guys, I think that's going to do it for this week's show. Mr. K, can you please tell everybody where they can find you and what you're up to and, what's happening with you in the world of Mr. K these days?
I'm exhausted an awful lot, doing lots of painting. But viewers out there, if you're watching this right now, please do click a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. And if you're viewing this in the future, please click that like, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you can. If people and viewers out there want to find me, you'll find me on Will Stewart's THFC Rants channel. And I have a show which happens once every week on a Tuesday night, 11 o'clock GMT, and it's called Talk to K. All things about Spurs, of course. I do appear as a guest on shows like your show and
we love
Paxton Road TV, FTB. There's numerous, but then there's many people out there just like me who are also sharing the knowledge, sharing the passion. And one of those users could be you. Come forward. Write a comment. Get yourself forward.
Yes.
Get yourself a pair of headphones.
Yes. R2D2.
We want to hear your opinion. Come talk to Kay.
Come talk to Kay. Tuesday nights, 11 o'clock. Is it? 9 till 11.
That's right. It is. It's 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's too late for me.
I think the first time we did it. Sam's made it once.
I need a lot of coffee for that. Just to let everyone know as well, we've got a FTB transfer deadline day show tomorrow evening from 5 p.m. till 12 a.m. We have a fully stacked show with a load of different people from the FTB Sports family. So we're talking everything transfer deadline day. I'll be on there, I think, with Sam from 9 o'clock. But yeah, it's going to be loads of fun. You're going to come on?
Yeah, I've got an open slot between 9 and 11.
Oh, come on! Let's talk.
So
let's crash the Spur.
Don't forget. I have to shoot off from there and then go and do my show as well.
Yeah.
You never know. I might mix the two streams together. We'll see what happens.
Could have a collab, right?
What do we call it? The after party for the transfer. Come talk
the
to
after
Kay
transfer
afterwards.
Party. Let's do it.
Yeah, Martinez never turned up. Things like that.
Tommy
We
Asu,
didn't
is he
get another
signed yet?
striker again. We didn't get no creative mid. We got rid of Sissoko.
Yeah, I mean, we did.
So you know what that means,
So,
don't you? Odds on favorite Traore is coming in. Odds on.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Well, if you look at the previous history of who we have recruited so far, Hart went, we got a replacement.
Yep,
Toby went, we got a replacement.
yep,
Right? We every year or so we get a youth youngster coming through. I think last season we had Gedson. He
yep,
was on loan, but it was the option to buy. This season we've gone out there and got Gil,
yep,
and he's another one of those youth which is coming through, tenacious youths.
yep.
But we haven't got rid of anyone until just now, Sissoko. So that means that it's just about contractual arrangements between Levy and and Wolves. Good luck, Wolves. So, I
Apparently,
mean,
all will be
Paratici's done his
revealed
thing. Yeah, I
on
mean,
Thursday.
Paratici and Nuno have done their thing. So it's just down to now how the board negotiate the contracts.
Yeah.
100%, we need a replacement. Every time a player goes out, we now bring a player in. I've noticed the pattern. So I expect Traore to come in. I hope it does.
Yeah, I think
We need
we'll
something.
see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think Sid's saying that Thursday all will be revealed. I think Sid's having a special show on Thursday where we talk about, where he's going to talk about all of our incomings and outgoings. So I think everybody, just a little plug there for Sid Says on Thursday night. Make sure you watch out. He has all the
Everyone out
news for
there,
you.
go out there and
um,
listen to Sid Says.
yeah, Sid knows, and then it could be Sid sings soon. But I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk too much. We'll see what happens in that.
No Star
All
Wars
right,
thing
guys. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for today's show.
I won't
As
mention the
Mr.
RT.
I feel like I'm a bit Miss R2D2 today, but
I don't know. Let's have a look. You don't look like Princess Leia. You look like one of those.
I
Let's have a
do
look
got my
now.
little buns on the side. But yeah,
Um, let's look. One of the aliens. I can't remember which one it is now.
okay, we can.
I think it's. No, I digress. It's been absolutely. Thank you very much for
No
calling me,
worries.
inviting me onto your show.
Thank you for coming
I
on.
feel as if I've got off on good behavior, so I should be able to leave.
You did
There
for
we
now.
go.
You did for now. Everybody, just as Mr. K said, if you like the show, please make sure you subscribe to Paxton Road TV. Hit the like button. Please comment. Give us, any feedback or anything like that. We really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I've been Judge Jody. He's been Mr. K. Have an awesome week, everybody, and we will see you soon.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.